It's my favorite day of the week. It is not Monday, it's not Tuesday, it's not Wednesday, it is Bins Day. What's going on, everybody? It is Brendan. The channel is Dad Planet. I am the one-man show. You and I are headed up to the outlet, and this video is probably one of my favorites. And the reason is, I know a lot of you that watch this channel or watch reselling channels in general might have limited funds to spend. Well, you'll be amazed at just how little I spent this trip, and it still turned out to be an extremely fruitful trip. So I'm excited to feature all of the items that I was able to source both on camera and off camera as we tear through those lovely blue specimens in search of anything that we can resell online. Let's get moving. Let's start off in the bags and the hat section. We got a bunch of belts here. So I started digging a little bit early and I found this Tory Burch. I think this is it's a changing pad, or a diaper pad. I think this came out of a Tory Burch, like an actual bag here. And so shout out to whoever found the actual bag, but this is really clean. And I'm going to pick this up because I have a feeling that this would be a really good replacement for somebody that had one and maybe it's a little bit too soiled, or they just want to add it to their existing Tory Burch bag. Maybe they picked one up or have one that didn't have the diaper station or the changing station, but that thing was clean. I mean, it looked like it had never been used, not a single stain on it. And I think if you were to find the bag or one of the bags that it came with, you probably get $100 for it. But price-wise, I'm not really sure where that's going to land. I don't see a ton or any comps at all for just the changing pad. So maybe $25 to $30 is the price that I will end up listing it at. And this is just the picked over stuff. It's amazing what you can find in the items that have been picked over already. So that's not the only time you're going to see Tory Burch in this video, so stay tuned for more. Next thing that I found here, Lululemon is really sneaky, especially if it's men's and it doesn't have the tag. So you can see the logo right there. And this shirt was really staticky, so I had trouble trying to fold it and get it stretched out and show it to you on camera here. But the buttons looked familiar to me, and it's long sleeve, it's navy blue. I think this is a men's size large. It's either a large or an XL. This is a $50 shirt here. I don't know, again, the exact style, what this shirt was called, but the fact that it's long sleeve gets me a little bit more money than the short sleeve ones. And so an amazing find, $50 on that. It'll sell in the $45 to $50 range. Again, Lululemon, and one of the things I've noticed about Lululemon is it's becoming way more fast fashion. If you're looking in their stores, their store turnovers are happening much sooner, and so they're kind of under pressure to get a bunch of new stuff out all the time. So it's really moving towards a fast fashion brand than it is a quality brand. So keep that in mind, but it seems like the men's items still command a really good price, maybe even a little bit of a higher price in certain instances than some of the female item counterparts if we're talking shirts and things along those lines. Keep that in mind. It's definitely still a female-centric brand, I think, but the men's stuff still does really well. All right, next thing that I found here, this is an amazing find. So if you look, Polo Jeans Company, if you search Polo Jeans Company cargo pants in eBay, you'll get, just on that keyword or that keyword phrase, about 200 results, and 125 or so have sold in the last 90 days as of the time of this recording. I have a military surplus pair of pants here, and if you sort those 125 solds by solds over $30, you still get 80 results. So it would have been a good find at around $30, but the fact that it's like a military surplus and you could see it on the patch of the cargo pant, I was moving kind of fast, that gets me into the $50, even $60 range for resale. So another really lucky, very fantastic find right there. So what would have been maybe a $35 pair of pants bumps up to $50 because of the surplus aspect to it. So Polo Jeans Company, definitely a Bolo brand, Bolo style for those pants, but I'm going to get even more money because it's military surplus. So exciting there. North Face that had a little bit too much damage on the inside, you can see right there. So that was definitely something that had to be left behind. I may have considered it, even though we're moving into like spring and summer, because it was light, but with that damage, can't. Oh, and this, by the way, this gap right here, I left that gap zip behind. If that had been Sherpa lined and from like the Y2K era, that gap is definitely a pickup for the zip, but that one, the one you just saw, the red one that I left behind, wasn't lined with fleece or Sherpa, so I left it behind. It didn't really have any value at that point, but if you find it, Sherpa lined, grab it, 30 to 40 bucks as a bolo, so keep that in mind. Moving on to some of the carts that just came out here. I love this Mercedes t-shirt, AMG, Petronas, Motorsport, white, I think, was it V-neck? No, it's crew neck. These sell better, or at least they're coming from the UK a little bit more than they are here in the States here, but this is a $25 shirt, assuming of course there's no damage. Sometimes the white is hard to see with my iPhone in this location. So it looks like it's okay. Has a back graphic here too. I saw a sold brand new for around $25. I'm gonna list mine pre-owned for $25. And then if you ever see the Playboy collaboration with Misguided, that's what we're looking at right here. Grab it if it's in good condition, especially if it's at the bins. They make them really oversized, so this was like a nice kind of cloud, like tie-dye hoodie. Unfortunately, it had that pretty heavy stain on the front, so that's not something that I was willing to try to get out or launder, so I'm gonna leave it behind. But I do have some Playboy Misguided items listed in my inventory, and I've sold a few in the past 90 days or so, if I remember correctly, so definitely keep your eye out for that collaboration. Again, a lot of the stuff is manufactured in an oversized manner, so if it looks really, really large, it is supposed to be like that. Just keep that in mind. Check the rest of this stuff to see if there's anything interesting here. Ava and Viv, I've never picked that brand up, so I don't think it is a bolo brand, but again, there's always exceptions to the rule, so if you guys have a bolo for that brand, feel free to leave it in the comments. Move over to the shoes. The shoes have already come out, so this is already a rotation that has been picked over. And so the first thing I find is that Vibram 5-finger shoe, but just look what is hiding underneath that everybody missed, myself included, the first time. A pair of Teaks ballet flats. I sourced these in a thrift store for the first time very recently, and this is the first time that they've turned up for me at the bins. Now the color here, it looks like a dull green. The color is Pacific green, and if you go on Teaks website, they are completely sold out. So I have a pair of women's size 9 in a sold out color. The last one I believe has sold for $110 pre-owned. I will be listing that pair for $150. There have been 40 Pacific green Teaks in pre-owned condition sold on eBay in the last 2 years to the tune of almost $4,100. I am extremely grateful to have pulled those out of those luscious blue bins. So let's keep moving on here. I did find a single pretty cool like tan color Doc Marten. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the other one, so I had to leave that behind. Those would have been amazing to sell. A pretty pair of, I think those were Sperry's. It was kind of hard to see the logo right there. In a unique color, it was almost like a neon yellow type of color. We got boat season coming up, so I will look at Sperry's a little bit more than I otherwise would during the winter, because they just do not sell well for me in the colder months. So I'll keep honing in on those. But take a look, we got a pair of Tory Burch mini ballet flats here. So I knew it when I saw it. It was like tucked underneath one of those tan boots, and grabbed them really quickly. Now you can't see it really well here on camera, but I already have these listed. The soles don't look terrible, but they have a little bit of wear towards the toes and then a little bit of wear towards the heels. Now the leather, by and large, on especially the insoles, everything is still very high quality. But you know, with the amount of wear, and this has happened to me before where I've sourced Tory Burch in like the thrift stores that are in this condition, rather than list them high, I have to list them probably between $25 and $30. I'll list them at $30, make sure I take good pictures, and then also disclose the wear, just so the buyer knows what to expect, even after having taken good pictures. So I'm gonna grab this t-shirt right here, Flag Nor Fail. I don't really know what the story is behind this brand, but they do limited edition runs of all of the items that they produce, and I think this is a woman's V-neck size extra small. The prices vary and the styles vary, but it looked like the average sale price for one of their t-shirts pre-owned was around $15, $20. So that's where I'm gonna list that one at, 20 bucks, very clean. and had some cool embroidery and graphics on the front and on the back that looked like they were screen printed. So I'll grab it. Seems like it would be a decent sale, and the list to sell ratio on them was pretty favorable. So it's one of those like bread and butter price wise items that I like to pick up from the bins. I have a ton of success selling like the $15 to $20 t-shirts that I find here, and that stuff really adds up. And it's wonderful because all of that stuff is very light, so it doesn't cost that much. If I had purchased that in store in my local area, I think the t-shirts are anywhere from $3 to $5 per ounce. This is crazy, right? Why bother when you can get them at the bins for a better price if you have access to a bins location, which of course I do. So last thing I'm going to grab here in store is a pair of long johns from Patagonia. Here we go again with the Patagonia. But Capilene base layer, it's a men's large. This is a really easy seller at $25. So we're going to toss those into the cart for certain, and it's just a matter of time. I would be sourcing Patagonia like that year round. Even if we were in August, I would be picking up those long johns because I know they will sell. So great pickup there, easy score. And even with just these few items that were featured in this video, I think we've done pretty well. We've had a lot of success here. I really wanted to grab this. I think is a Vineyard Vines. Yeah, it's a Vineyard Vines V-neck, which would have been about $25 to $30, even though it doesn't have the Vineyard Vines embroidery on the front. But it had too much wear and discoloration for me to pull the trigger on it, so we have to leave that one behind. But yeah, I love all this stuff. All right, now for the items that did not make it into the video but did still come home with me, I have a pair of Lems. I think these were Mariner. Yeah, Mariner shoes. They do not have the insole, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to list those at. I'm not going to put comps on the screen for everything, or this video will take me all day long. But I do want to show you some of these things because I think they might be interesting. Jeremiah, this is a new to me brand. I have a pair of pants here that I'm going to try to list. They were very light. This is a Urban Outfitters, this green, like olive green, lightweight hooded jacket for women. It's one of the items that I grabbed. I think this is also Jeremiah, again, because it's new to me. I'm going to list these both and we'll see what happens. I will definitely report back to you if they do turn out to be quick sellers or sellers in general. One of these resort style shirts that I always love picking up, the Thirsty Cougar from Mexico, front and back design here. This one was a mistake. I was supposed to put this back, and again, I forgot about it. I think it's deep. Let me show you the tag. Deep, it's a size medium. I don't think this is a bolo, but things get into the bottom of my cart and I get lazy and forget to take them out. These two things were purchased in store, so they don't count. So we've got those items there. Got a Chief Wahoo Cleveland Indians hat. Probably needs to be cleaned up a little bit. I'm not really sure if I can get all of that staining out, so that kind of remains to be seen. Funny little hat here that I didn't see any listed, and so I might be the only one. Only problem is it's fitted. I don't usually pick up fitted hats, but we'll take a chance on the crude humor aspect of it. And then I think the last thing I grabbed was this Titleist hat. I don't think this was in a previous video. I think this was from that haul. It's kind of denim, again, also fitted, but I liked the style, the way this thing was made and the way it felt, so I grabbed that. So all of those things are the things that were picked up that trip that didn't make it into the video. So for the items that were sourced on camera in store, it only came to £5, so I spent 10 bucks, and my total listed value for all of those items comes to $380. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Brendan here, Dad Planet, the One Man Show. Hit that like button if you liked what you saw or you learned something today, and then always consider becoming a member of the Dad Planet family by subscribing and hitting the bell notification icon so that you know every single time I upload a video to YouTube. But that is it. That's all I've got for you. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one.